pleasure to welcome Dr. Krishna Kumar. He's a well-known local physician. More importantly, he's playing a much broader role, a spiritual role, as the president and spiritual leader of Parashakti Temple here. Dr. Kumar, it's a pleasure to welcome you.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Entrepreneurship takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy. It's not just about making money. It's about committing yourself to a lifestyle which is very intense, very focused, and it's also about helping the world, if I may say so, in terms of through your product, through your services, through your giving. So I'm trying to learn from you how we could use the spirituality aspect of it and bring it to the entrepreneurial ecosystem.
See, spirituality, one thing it does is it makes the whole you part of everything. So you become generous, and also it increases efficiency, because most of the thing, for instance, I want to start a business, I plan. Most of the obstacles I see, if I really contemplate on that and meditate on that and focus on that, see, meditation becomes like a metaphysics. Contemplation would be probably an easier one for people to understand. You focus it with one point attention and don't think of the past. Past is history. And don't worry about the future. That's a mystery. You don't know it. At this point, at this given time, concentrate what the problem is, and 90% of them you'll find out the perceived problem, not really actual problem. 10%, yes, there will be problems, but when you concentrate, you find the answer. And also when you look at the whole picture holistically, you get some energy which normally you don't get. It's not intellectual energy, it's intuitive energy. See, intellect and instinct, see, evolution, if you look at it, all the organisms developed by instinct. They knew they needed certain things, like all the amphibian, marine, small insects were being eaten away. So they said, listen, we got to fly, either go to the land or I got to fly. And they developed wings. It must have taken maybe 30 million, between 320 million and 300 million years ago, the insects started developing wing. And you can see the focus that insect must have had. I can't go to the land. Only thing left for me to save myself from all this fish eating me is to fly. So it focused. It took 10 million years of focus, changed the genes, and all of a sudden it just started slowly and flew away. Human will never be able to fly. You know why? Because we're too smart. We found rockets, we got this, we won't even think of flying. It's stupid to fly, try to fly. So it's opposite to what's intuitive. So intuitive ability gives certain energy which intellect alone cannot give. So instinct is evolutionary. We are evolved with instinct. Intuitivity comes from up. Up meaning something outside you. That means you have to have faith, you have to have knowledge, you have the ability to get the energy and tack onto that and then move on. That gives you extra energy which intellect alone cannot do. Intellect is within you. Intuitivity is anywhere. I use the word akashic. Anything exists in the cosmos, you should be able to tack onto that. But that needs certain meditative ability, certain mantras. But normal people, when they concentrate, if we look at Einstein or Newton, they got the idea intuitively, not intellectually, because there is nothing for them to look at intellectually. There's nothing written about it. So it's intuitive is divine. I use the word divine. Again, it becomes metaphysics. It's something outside you. Those are eureka moment. It just comes in and you know the answer. And there's no logic behind it. So I use the word intuitive. Intuitive has to come from above. And then you are talking about outside, what the cosmic things are, what intellect is there, how you receive it. And that is not normal, but normal people, when they concentrate, they do get some ideas. Wonderful. So I always tell people, don't think of past, that's a history. Don't think of future, that's a mystery. Concentrate, focus, one-pointed focus, and try to analyze it as well as you can. Their spirituality helps. It's not logic, but I use the word spirituality, meaning you connect to your causal self, which is what you call spirit, soul, whatever. Can I have some water? Spirit, soul, whatever. Every religion,
I'm sorry.
Tea is fine. Just liquid, that's all.
It's there. Here. If you can turn around. That's Shashi, there's something fell off.
So spiritual, you stopped it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's going on.
Okay. Spirituality is actually, people say it's metaphysics, but spirituality is a part of your soul. But some people don't even believe in the existence of soul. They think the whole thing is just a physical body, which we evolved. But now more and more the quantum physics is understood. more and more the metaphysical aspect, what we call metaphysics, is becoming more physics now, because of quantum physics is something which drives everybody nuts, every scientist in that, because they can't understand. Einstein was actually a discoverer of quantum physics, but he negated it. He would not accept it, because he cannot accept that electrons or atoms can have sentience. And his disciple, his student Niels Bohr, who got Nobel Prize in 1922 and 1924, he looked at it and said, that's true, that's what the science is all about, and he got Nobel Prize for that. And Einstein till the end was very frustrated man, because he cannot understand how an insentient, inanimate object can communicate. And there's the famous Copenhagen experiment. I'm going to touch on it in my talk. That was 1926 or something. They sent two electrons from the same pair out opposite direction, and they communicated. When you adjust one, manipulate one electron, other one immediately knew. See, that experiment was done in animals, like rabbits in England and Australia. The the children of the rabbit felt what the mother was feeling. That itself is very metaphysical, because science cannot explain it. How children of that rabbit can feel, or the mother can feel the thing which is thousands of miles away. But that at least I can see, because there's a consciousness. But an electron, now 10 years ago, even a photon, which is not even a particle, at least the electron is a particle. It's dual particle wave, but the photon, there is no mass, there's no charge, so it cannot be anything, just smaller than any particle, smaller than electron. Photons communicate. So when you come to the point where an insentient being communicate, you're calling them life form, you're calling them conscience. I would call them conscience is rudimentary, not the conscience. I understand I'm much higher, because I vibrate highly. And that again goes back to science. Everything in the universe vibrating. Depending on the vibrational level, it's either inanimate, animate, plant, human. Even Einstein's relativity breaks down. So now the thing is, those Einstein Newtonian theories are good for macro. In micro level, none of them work. But in a micro level, it gets adjusted, because so small, it didn't matter. But for our conversation, quantum physics, in fact, Einstein tried so hard to prove that was wrong. In other words, he said there's something we are missing. Otherwise, an inanimate object cannot have sentience. That was his theory, because there is no conscience. Till the end, he was very frustrated, and he could never prove. And in fact, they did almost 10,000 experiments between 1930 and 1960. All 10,000 experiments to disprove quantum physics proved it's right. They could not find anything wrong. It's the most perfect. The p-value is 0, essentially. There's no, all 10,000, you don't find any experiment, there'll be 1 out of 1,000 will be wrong, different. So use the p-value. You still accept the low value as long as it's less than 5%. But in quantum physics, all 10,000 experiments to prove something wrong proved to be right. So Niels Bohr got all the glory, even though Einstein was the discoverer, but he negated it. He said it cannot be true.